Hello, everyone. How are you? I hope your day is going wonderful. I want to talk and read a little bit about how to handle stimming when it comes to ADHD, of course. Let's get started. Understanding self-stimulatory behavior, the triggers, and how to manage it. ADHD stimming, meaning self-stimulatory behavior, is when a person with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder unconsciously repeats certain movements or sounds. Did you know that? Yeah. Some ADHD stimming examples are humming, pacing, teeth grinding, and rocking, and there are many others. The reasons for stimming can vary depending on the person and environment, of course. It's thought that in ADHD, these behaviors may come from a need to improve focus, self-soothe, or channel energy. Isn't it so interesting what we go through? How we don't realize some of our actions may be subconscious or unconscious. I find that amazing. Stimming is normal in ADHD, but can be problematic if it disrupts everyday functioning or results in self-harm or injury. Did you know that? Yeah. Medication, self-control techniques, and environmental changes may help. Examples of ADHD stimming. People with ADHD may engage in several different types of stimming, though some may seem to have select behaviors that they tend to default to. Examples of stimming in ADHD grouped here by type include touch, tactile, nail biting, scratching, hair pulling, or twirling, chewing the inside of the cheeks, teeth grinding, rubbing fingers, visual, zoning out, spinning objects like coins or fidget toys, pacing, doodling, verbal or auditory, giggling, singing, making repetitive sounds, excessive throat clearing, also rocking, spinning, shaking the head, fidgeting versus stimming. Many people engage in self-stimulatory behaviors, not just ADHDers. From time to time, of course, these can be similar to, or even the same as, some stimming behaviors seen with ADHD. In neurotypical people, these behaviors are often simply referred to as fidgeting. If you have twirled your hair while talking, tapped your foot while studying, or rubbed your fingers together when nervous, you have engaged in stimming. Yeah. The difference is that for someone with ADHD, these behaviors are more severe, occur more often, and interfere with or reduce the quality of how a person functions socially, at school, or in their job. Yeah. Stimming doesn't necessarily mean you or your loved one has ADHD, however, or even that changes are needed if there is a diagnosis. But If you are worried about stemming behaviors, reach out to your primary healthcare provider or a mental health professional. Yeah, you're only human. Get some help for yourself. ADHD stemming versus autism stemming. Yeah. Stemming is part of the diagnostic criteria for autism spectrum disorder, ASD. But there are differences between this and stemming and ADHD. People with ADHD may stem to help improve focus and impulse control, whereas people with autism may do it to relieve anxiety. The stems themselves may be different too. For example, people with autism may flap their head or flick their fingers. Lining up objects is also a common stemming behavior in people with autism. Things that trigger stemming behaviors. There is no single reason why people with ADHD stem, but there are several theories. For example, people living with ADHD are said to have differences in brain development and brain activity that affect attention. The ability to sit still and self-control. My apologies. I'll reread that. The ability to sit still and self-control. Stemming may be a product of this. Boredom and understimulation. Ooh. People with ADHD may stem out of boredom or to increase stimulation and attention in an understimulating environment. For example, a child with ADHD may start kicking their feet at their desk during a lesson that they don't find interesting or after they have been sitting for a long period of time. You should give them a hall pass to the restroom so they can stretch their legs. My opinion. Overstimulation and anxiety. On the flip side, stemming can also be born out of a need to reduce stimulation. People with ADHD can sometimes feel anxious in environments that have a lot going on, such as a loud and crowded store or sports complex. Some may purposefully try to avoid these places because of that. But when that's not possible, stemming may be calming and self-soothing. It can also serve as a way to direct negative feelings. Yeah. Happiness. People with the ADHD may also engage in happy stemming. This type of stemming is done to express happiness rather than as a way to improve focus or impulse control. Happy stemming can look the same as stemming done for other reasons. It's been said that over time, stemming behaviors may be perceived as pleasurable in and of themselves and repeated for that reason alone. While this refers to stemming in people with autism, it may also be true for people with ADHD who engage in stemming when there is no obvious or apparent trigger. ADHD stemming management. If stemming behaviors have become particularly time-consuming or result in self-injury, such as bleeding from skin picking, it is time to talk to a professional, you guys. Not all stemming behaviors require management, though. It will be up to you and your medical care team to discuss the level at which stemming is interfering with your or your child's life or causing safety risk. If stemming is a problem in children, avoid using punishment as a method of trying to control their behavior. Experts discussing stemming behaviors associated with ASD have said this punishment technique doesn't work. So we want to chuck what doesn't work because we want to figure out what does work. I'll be back with part 2, more tips. See ya.